Welcome to Lemon Stream, where we feature stories of the unknown, mysteries, post-apocalyptic fiction, and other weird stuff. So settle in, get comfortable, get ready. Here we go. The New World, Chapter 21, Multiplication and Division. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Denise said. They were finishing up their Sunday meeting, having just appointed Darren as the leader for the next month. The mood in their meetings had turned from dread, fear, and concern to hope and excitement. All the food from the Kinney farm had been brought up to the house and inventoried. Denise had done an accounting of it and announced that there was now enough to get them through midsummer if they were careful with it. Yes, Sandy said, 2 things. He nodded at Sylvia, who smiled back and stood up. Well, Sylvia said, I just thought I'd share something with everyone now that we're sure. She paused and looked at all the faces. I'm pregnant, she said. The whole group was quiet. Their faces failed to hide their shock. Well, said Sylvia, I'm not announcing a funeral. I'm talking about a new baby. Yeah, said Michael. I know. It's just that we didn't expect that. Here, now, with all this going on, but I guess it was bound to happen at some point. If not you, then one of the other women. Not me, Ma said, holding up her hands. I'm out of that game. The group laughed and the tension melted away. With the food and other supplies they found at the Kinney farm, the mood had become hopeful. Now, with the news of a new baby on the way, they were about to begin actually seeing a future of prosperity and of new generations beyond their own. Wow, Joe said. Sylvie, that's great. We're going to have to make some baby clothes. This is going to be fun. Congratulations, Sandy, said Darren. Stevie, Sylvia said, what's the matter? You don't look happy. Stevie looked up and forced a smile. I'm happy for you, he said. Just thinking it's great you're having a baby, and maybe some others here will have babies too, but me, I don't even have a wife. And where's my wife even going to come from? Am I going to live my whole life with nobody? Stevie, said Ma, I know how you feel. I grew up in the old world, and I felt the same thing. I was in my 30s before I met your dad, and we were married. I was beginning to think that I'd be alone forever. Listen, we've had our share of bad times since all this started, but look, we've also had a lot of good surprises. Don't give up hope. How soon, Sylvie? Asked Denise. April or May, best I can tell, she answered. That's counting back to my last period. It's a little confusing because I may not be counting right because of all this that has happened. I didn't write anything down. A spring baby, Denise smiled. So glad they won't be born during the winter. Denise looked back at Sandy. What else, Sandy? She asked. Well, he said. He cleared his throat. We were thinking that come spring, if it was okay with everyone, if we could move into the Kinney farm, Sylvie and I and Nathan. The group was quiet again. The thought of dividing the community had never occurred to them, and they were taken by surprise by what Sandy said. I think, Sandy said, that it would give us our own space as a family, and plus it'd be easier for us to watch over the crops we're going to be planting in the fields down there. For a moment, there was no response. Then Darren spoke. I don't know, Sandy, he said. It doesn't sit well with me thinking about us all spread out. I think it's best, said Sandy. We can't all live together forever, and the farm is so close to us, it's not like we'd be moving across the country. Yeah, it means we'll be a little more spread out, but not that far. The farm's only a couple minutes walk up the road. We'll talk about it more, Darren said, unconvinced. We have plenty of time to think about it and talk about it more. I see what you mean. It just doesn't sit well right now. Okay, Sandy said. It's not like we're asking for a divorce or something, or to leave the group. Just for some space of our own. All right, said Denise. Let's end this meeting. Remember, Darren is our coordinator for next month, so all complaints go to him now. A couple folks chuckled, but it was obvious that a wet blanket had been thrown over the group's mood.